Today's video is brought to you by ablmerch.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, mugs, and more. And use promo code 1776 to get 20% off your next order. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this crazy interaction between a so-called college professor and one of her students. Now, this is Cypress College out there in Los Angeles area, California. So you pretty much already know where this is headed. It's going to get really weird really quickly. Now, I've not seen the entire thing. I saw a little bit of it, so I get the general gist, but I'm going to watch the full thing right here with you in this video, and I'm going to stop it at certain points to give you my 2 cents on it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
All right, so you brought up the police in your speech a few times. So what is your main concern? Since, honestly, the whole reason police, it is systemic. The issue is systemic.
Oh, here we go. Like, you could tell right away when she's talking about the police, she's real frustrated, doing all these hand movements. You know, she's frustrated and kind of irritated about the police. She's an anti-police person. So if the young man gave a pro-police speech, she's going to be against it automatically, and she'll find ways to just kind of break it down. And this whole systemic word, people have yet to really show me the quote-unquote systemic problems, like actual laws in the books or things that police do systemically that impact people in a negative way.
Because the whole reason we have police departments in the first place, where did it stem from? What's our history? Going back to what Jeremy was talking about, what does it stem from? It stems from people in the South wanting to capture runaway slaves.
Let's pause right there. I hear this a lot about, well, the police, they come from slave patrol. First of all, let's go back a little bit in history and beyond the United States. Before there was ever a thing called the United States of America, let's go back to like Rome and stuff like that. There's been what you could call a police force to ensure security, ensure safety, and make sure everybody's doing the right thing. And beyond just what you may call a police force, has always been military or something to that extent. You know, one thing, before I get to the whole slave patrol thing, one thing that people don't really talk about when they say defund the police is who's going to be there to actually ensure security, ensure safety. They're going to bring them federales out there. You're going to have them tanks and them boots marching on your street. Is that what you want? I don't think so. But if they get their way, they'll get that. But different story, I digress. Going back to the whole slave patrol thing, the oldest police department in the country is in Boston, and that started in 1830. Now, there have been forms of police before that, but the actual department, as we have today, the modern department, started in 1830. Was there slavery in Boston? I mean, if there was it slavery at that particular point in time? The police department that formed out there was not to try and capture runaway slaves. It was to ensure the safety of the citizens. And even if they had police in the South for slave patrol, is that what you have right now in Atlanta and Baltimore, places like that, where it's majority black? But we'll move on.
Maybe they shouldn't be heroes. Maybe they don't belong on a kid's show.
So I disagree with what Jeremy said about it, because I think cops are heroes and they have to have a difficult job, but we have to have that
all of
fine
them?
life. Oh, I'm not
Actively fighting against them. Look at this, the kind of smug, kind of like all of them, actively fighting against them. And what I'm picking up on right now is that this young man is much more mature than the so-called professor.
I mean, I'd say a good majority of them. You have bad people in every business and every
That's right.
part. Well, wait,
Police officers have committed atrocious crimes and have gotten away with it and have never been convicted of any of it. And I say this as a person who has family members who are police officers.
Now, okay, just because you think in your mind that an officer has done something that they shouldn't be doing and they've gotten away with it does not mean that you could just have this negative view about police officers. I mean, because O.J. Simpson, everybody knows that he did it. He got away with it. Does that mean that all black folks are somehow bad because of what O.J. Simpson did? Look at each case as an individual. Look at each individual as an individual rather than judging the entire group.
Yes, I understand. And this is what I believe. This is my opinion. And this is, not popular to say, but I do support our police, and we have bad people, and the people that do bad things should be brought to justice. I agree with that. But I think that, say it again.
They haven't.
Well, I agree with you on that point of they should, right?
Okay, so what is your
And-
bottom line point? You're saying
Like, just let the man talk. Like, why are you just trying to interject? This is this really weird kind of energy I'm getting from this lady. And she's a professor. She's teaching him. But it seems like it's the other way around. It seems like he's teaching her and she's not receptive to what he's trying to teach her.
police officers should be revered, viewed as heroes. They
I
belong
think
on
it's-
TV shows with children.
I think they are heroes in a sense because they come to your need and they come and help you, and they have a problem just like every other business, but we should fix that. But
It's not
I think they're
business.
heroes. Well, they're
I think
a
that's the
program.
problem, is looking at it as a business. Because they're actually supposed to protect and serve the people.
They
not
do
kill
protect
them.
us. Who do we call when we're in trouble and someone has a knife or a gun? We
I wouldn't call the police.
She's lying. Telling someone she wouldn't call the police. Who you going to call? Okay, you got somebody beating your door in. I'm sure that she has a nice collection of cats at the crib, a whole cat castle, right? I don't believe that she's married with kids or anything like that. If she is, I'll be completely flabbergasted and floored to the max. I'm sure she has a nice cat castle. Them cats ain't going to do no security work. There'll be no more good when your door is being beat down. It flies off the hinges and you got 4 or 5 guys in your crib looking for you. You'll wish the police were there at that moment, won't you?
Why wouldn't you call the police?
I don't trust them. My life's in more
Who would
danger
you call?
in their presence.
Professor, who would you call?
I wouldn't call anybody.
Won't call nobody.
What would you have? If
I'm gonna
someone
pick up the
intruded
phone
your
and call.
house with a gun, what would you have a gun on you, or
No.
who would you call?
It's my time to go.
Okay.
Okay,
well,
I'm
that's
not
fine.
going
If
to
someone
reach out
already
to
in your house with a gun, there's not much you can do at that point. Calling the police is kind of just,
So, okay, he asked her, okay, what are you going to do? They broke into your house, they got a gun. Are you going to have a gun? She doesn't really want to answer that. I'm not really sure what she said. It's like, is it time to go? Or, you don't really want to get into the reality of a situation. You'll say you won't call the police or you won't call anybody, but that's just not true. You got to do something. Either you should be armed anyway. You need to be armed and you need to be calling the police because you need to make sure that the coast is clear. You're calling for reinforcements at that point, but you got to protect yourself right away. So if you don't have a gun and you want to call the police, then you're pretty much a sitting duck, just waiting for something that bad to happen, unfortunately.
And I know that it's not popular for me to say that to you guys and people in here, but that's what I believe about the police.
Okay,
And,
thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you
Thank you
guys
very
for listening to my point. I appreciate it. Thanks.
I will say, yeah, I'm glad you did say that, even if I disagree with you. It's
Yeah,
important that.
and we should fight for the right for people to say things that we don't even like, right?
That's
I
right.
may not agree with what you say, but I'll fight for your right to say it.
Amen.
Within some
Amen.
extent, I'll say.
Okay,
agree.
folks.
Yeah, so hey, shout out to the kids. The kids, I'm not sure how old they were. The students, I'll say, they could be talking about fully grown adults. And you're in college, so you're in adult age. But shout out to the students for being much more mature than the so-called professor. If that's your teacher, I would just jump out of that class. If your teachers are like that in general at a college, I would leave that college and go somewhere else. Okay, just go somewhere else. And then my question to the young man would be, what are you actually in school for? What's your major? What's your intended purpose? If you're in the class teaching her, what's the point? You're paying her so you can teach her, and she's not even receptive. What is the purpose? What's the reason? Okay, I'm not sure what class this was. If you guys know, let me know in the comments below. But I don't see a whole lot of learning going on. I see a whole lot of teaching from the students happening. This is happening all over academia, in K through 12, college. Just it's a whole big mess. And then they're talking about 4 more years of quote unquote public education. I think they said 2 years of pre-K and then 2 years after your 12th grade year. So what, 0.3, 0.6 grade going up to kindergarten, first grade, and then 13th and 14th grade? Why? What's the point? You got kids that graduate high school and can't read. You got these so-called professors and teachers trying to indoctrinate kids to believe in communism as a good thing. What's the point in going for 4 more years? We don't need more quote unquote public education. We need better education. How about the government get out of it? How about these bad teachers get the axe? How about we don't allow this ridiculous, crazy liberal, socialist, communist take over academia? How about that? That'd be the better way we can quote unquote reform education. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to all the police. You guys already know. I got my flag right here. The blue line and the red line. My dad was a firefighter. And the police I support, that's for you guys. You guys do a great job that people like that professor don't really want to do. She'll say publicly that she doesn't want to call the police when something bad happens. Doesn't really matter what it is, but that's not really true. Okay, we've seen these so-called defund the police celebrities out there in LA where this whole college is talking about, okay, defund the police in LA County. I live up here in the hills, but if I see a young man with a Nerf gun, I'm calling the police and I'm getting the whole department to come out. We've seen that already. So these people are liars, they're phony, they're ridiculous. And if they're not liars and phony and ridiculous, they're dangerous. I think either way they're dangerous because of what they push. Whether they believe in it or not, it's still dangerous no matter what. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about that woke college professor trying to argue with the young man about the police? Was she in the right? Was he in the right? How about the other young man that wasn't really involved with the argument, didn't really even agree with what the young man was saying to the professor, but still appreciated that he said it regardless? Whatever your thoughts on all of that are, let me know in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I stand. If you are in a class like this, leave the class. Get another class, drop out. If your whole school is like that, leave. Go somewhere else or just drop out. College at this point has become a scam depending upon what you go for. If you're going to college for some kind of small, little major, you're going for, I don't know, journalism, or it's like, why? Why? What's the purpose? Okay, I have an associate's degree in graphic design. That's it. What I know about politics and life and things like that, I've read on my own. Okay, I know how to read. I can read a book and study it and comprehend what's going on without the aid of a ridiculous 21-year-old woke, probably on drugs and drinking college professor who hates the police and who hates people that think like the way I think. You see? So as I close through this time, my advice is if you have a professor like that or a school like that, find a different option, please, because you are wasting your money dealing with people like that. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.